Chapter 6-6 covers factor by grouping. Okay, example 1, we're going to factor 6x to the third minus 9x squared plus 4x minus 6. You do factor by grouping whenever there are 4 terms. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate it into 2 groups. This is the first group, and this is the second group. And then from there we're going to pull out the greatest common factor of each group. So the greatest common factor of 6x to the third and 9x squared is 3x squared. And when I divide 3x squared out of those 2 terms, I get 2x minus 3. And then I'm going to pull out the greatest common factor of these 2 terms. The greatest number I can pull out is 2. And that leaves me with 2x minus 3. Okay, now you're going to look at this whole thing, and they do have 2x minus 3 in common. So you're going to pull that out, the 2x minus 3. And then whatever's left over goes into the second set of parentheses. So that's 3x squared plus 2. So that's the answer. 2x minus 3 quantity times 3x squared plus 2. Okay, example 2, x to the third plus x squared plus x plus 1. Again, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do 2 different groups. That's the first group, that's the second group. Find the common factor of each group. On this one, it's x squared. That leaves me with x plus 1. On this one, nothing other than 1. So 1 is the only thing that goes into both. Okay, they have this in common. They have the x plus 1 in common. So that's the first factor, x plus 1. And whatever's left over is the second factor, x squared plus 1. Okay, example 3, x to the third plus 2x squared minus x minus 2. This is the first group. This is the second group. There's a plus in the middle. Okay, what can I pull out of the first one? The greatest common factor is x squared. That leaves me with x plus 2. Now, on the second one, they're both negative, so if I pull out a negative 1, that gives me positive x and positive 2. So now I have the x plus 2 in common. And what's left over is the x squared minus 1. Okay, now that's a difference of squares. X squared minus 1 is a difference of squares. So that means you can factor it one more time. X plus 2. And this is x squared minus 1 is a difference of squares, so that's x, 1, 1. One's a plus and one's a minus. Okay, example 4. This is the first group. This is the second group. Okay, what can I pull out? I can pull out of the first group y squared. That leaves me with an x squared plus a. On the second group, I can pull out a b. That leaves me an a plus x squared. Okay, these are really the same thing. They're just backwards. So we'll just write down x squared plus a. And then what's left over is y squared plus b. And there isn't any difference of squares, so we're done.